What's up, people? I hope you're doing well. Everything going okay. I think this is one of those days, right? Has anybody had one of those days where everything goes right? Where everything just moves along well? Have you had one of those moments where you thought it was upside down, but it really was like upside down cake and it tastes delicious? Have you ever been in that situation? You were thinking everything was going left, and then you found out left was the exact way you should be going. Well, I hope that's you today because I got to tell you, these last few months have been really, really rough, right? But I got to tell you, we're still moving forward, right? We're still keeping it going. And as my daughter just said, you win. No matter what you're going through, no matter what obstacles come your way. If you just focus and stay connected, you will make it through. And the thing about it is, a lot of times adversity comes and we get kind of confused by adversity. But you know, adversity can make you stronger. Adversity can be that thing that pushes you past into your greatness. Some people get caught and they stop right in the middle of their breakthrough. I got to tell you, how you doing? My name is Dwayne-Ross, the author of the book No More Crumbs from the Table, and you have found your way to Passion to Profits TV. This was birthed out of COVID when we had a whole bunch of people just not sure what they wanted to do, and I was saying to them, what is it that you have on the inside of you? You know, everybody comes to the earth with a tag, a talent, an ability, a gift, and I believe it's up to you to figure it out, and if you can discover it, put it to work in the earth. And that's what the whole idea of discover your tag is, your talent, your ability, your gift. And I wrote that in the book, No More Crumbs from the Table, because why should you settle for the crumbs? Why should you wait for somebody to pass away so you can get a promotion? Isn't that amazing? Some people are sitting there waiting for Joe to leave so they can get the opportunity instead of making an opportunity for themselves or looking in their own basket and deciding, you know what? What do I have that people can find value in? And then if I'm passionate about it, I can put it to work in the earth and actually profit from it. That's what's happening with the Passion to Profit TV. And I'm kind of tell you, I got people that I've had on this show, and we are now at show number 33, which means we are now into season number 2 with no breaks. 32 shows, no breaks. We had one or two times where I was traveling and not able or had some problems with technology, but basically 32 shows ago, we started this ride. And I want to say thank you to everybody who's watching anywhere where you are, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on LinkedIn, wherever you're finding this, I appreciate you for going along with us and taking the ride. Now, I got to tell you, you know, every so often there are people that you've met on my show that I've already crossed the path with them, and I already know that they're putting their greatness to work in the earth. This next person that I have coming tonight, though, oh my gosh, I got to tell you, you know, most of you know that I run what's called the Youth Summit, right? The Yes Summit. It's the Youth Empowerment Success System. It's a summit that I bring individuals in to talk to our young people and help them discover themselves, you know, help them figure out what is it do they want. I do believe that, you know, education is good, but what we need to do with education is also inspiration, right? We got to motivate and inspire young people to look on the inside of them and go after something that's inside of them versus waiting till somebody blesses them to say, this is what you're good at. You know, most of the time you could figure it out when they're young. Well, I had this one woman. She is a fireball. When I say fireball, I'm talking you better have your fire suit, or you may have a little spray on the side. You better have the water hose ready, because when you get ready to work out with this person, she's going to set you on fire. She's going to get you moving. She's going to make sure that you are fit. Now, I'm not just talking about fit in your body, but I'm talking about fit in your mind. I have the distinct pleasure of bringing it to the stage, bringing it to the camera, bringing it into the room, bringing it in wherever y'all at into this stream. One of my dear
Amen.
friends, Miss
Amen.
Dionne Shaw Bush, and I got to tell you, woo! Yes, yes, yes. She is on fire. On
Yes,
fire. You know, you
glory,
heard that
glory,
song
glory.
by Alicia Keys, right? This girl is on
Yes,
fire,
that's
right?
me.
She
Keep going.
is blazing, right? She's
Yes.
blazing trails. She's that person you can count on. That's not going to leave you when you're in the middle of your mess. She's that person that when you start on your journey to redo your body and get yourself together, she's going to make sure that you push past your pain
Amen.
and find pleasure in the purpose that you already decided when it comes to, I'm going to work out. She's that person that's going to say, hey, go ahead and have the ice cream, but guess what? We're going to have to work that out tomorrow. As a matter of fact, do this tonight. So I want to bring to you guys, everybody that's watching, Coach D, as you know, you got the dream coach D Ross, right? And now I got Coach D over here, and she gonna share some things. How you doing, young lady? What's going on?
Excellent, excellent. First of all, thank you so much for thinking about me to come on your amazing TV program. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I can't do
Well,
nothing else but be well.
you know, I like the fact that you said you can't do nothing else but be well, because the reality is there's so many other things to be,
Yes,
but why be those things if you can be well?
be well.
You know what I
Yes,
mean? If you can
yes.
choose to be well, then why stay in sickness? Why stay in negativity? Why stay in places that don't celebrate you? You know, I tell people, you know, somebody gave me a plaque once and it said, go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated.
Love
And
that.
that spoke to me so vividly that when I was working at a particular place, the job that I have right now is in my gifting. It's in my training and development. It's where I love and where I live, right? And giving information, sharing information, helping people go forward. And it's interesting because one of the reasons I reached out to you is because I'm currently creating a course for the department in reference to self care. And I like to take a stab at things where I have a challenge, because I had a challenge with my own self care. You know, not sleeping well, working all hours of the night, working on my dream while I'm working on my passion while I'm working on whatever else other people have. And you know how you just don't eat right, you don't sleep right, you gain 96, you know, I had gained 32 pounds. I went to the doctor. The doctor's like, you know, you good, but bro, you about to go on the other side of this edge. You know how you got the little thing. So,
Yes.
D, Coach D, tell us who you are. Why is it important for your message to come through? Because I believe everybody personally should be writing their story and telling their story, because the things that you've been through can totally transform lives. Talk to us.
Wow. So who am I? So much, but I'm going to narrow it down. I'm a mindset coach. I am a Christian author. I am a health and wellness advocate for women. And I am the fit to be used coach. And I believe that I am here. My message is for my ministry is really for women. It's for everyone, but my focus is on women because I know what it's like to be a woman. I know what it's like to not love yourself, to treat yourself well. So the mission of Get Fit with Coach D. Fit is focused, intentional, truthful, and transparent about whatever it is that you are doing. Don't just haphazardly do it. And my message is, ladies, I'm teaching you to uproot those weeds of destruction. You know, those things from your past that you're allowing to stay in front of you, keeping you from doing what God has called you to do. And we're going to implant seeds of change so that you can start living your best life now. Not like Dwayne said, not like waiting for someone to give you something or waiting for someone to die to get it. I say, let's do it now. And it's all about your mindset.
Well, you see, I got to slow you down now because we got to come on back to some things. You said fit a little too quickly there, a little too quickly, madam. So I need you to slow that down, because you talked about focus, you talked about being
Intentional.
intentional, you talked about being truthful, and you talked about being transparent.
Yes,
Now,
yes.
love these words because I didn't really know these words when I was younger.
That's
I'm
right.
gonna tell
That's
you
right.
like it. I still struggle with a couple of them words, right? So let's go back to this first one, which is
Yeah.
focus.
Okay.
Talk
So
about all four, but let's start with that focus.
okay, so when I talk about focus, right, I was like, okay, when I got this vision, for fit, because everyone is FIT, but I'm like, no, I'm FITT, fit. People always think about it's about exercise, which it is, because focus is when a person is focused on something, they're paying attention to it. Right? They're paying attention. They have clarity. So they're focused. I'm going in this thing because I'm focused. I got my eye on the prize. I'm not just going in it just to be doing it, but you got to be focused. And then when I talk about intentional, you're mindful, right? You're intentional because you want to do more than just get by. I'm just going to be intentional about this thing. And then when you talk about truthful, it means I'm being true to myself. You have to be true to yourself first. So it's not like I'm being true to everybody else because time out for that. Trying to be what everybody wants you to be. Be truthful to yourself. Because if you're truthful, well, you're gonna be respected. People will say, "Oh, you're reliable," because this person is being themselves, right? And then you think about transparent. I know it means clarity. Okay, yeah, but you're being open, and you're being that real person. So that's what I think about when I say I am fit with Coach D, or being fit means that I'm focused, I'm intentional, I'm truthful, and I'm transparent about what it is that I'm doing. Right? So that's what that means.
Well, transparency and truthfulness, and a couple of things. The idea of fit. Most people, like you said, they're thinking about, do I eat the right greens? Do I have the right smoothie?
Which are important. Which are
Which are all good stuff, right? But what you're talking about is this idea of focus. I remember working on the stage years ago when I had an opportunity to be with Les Brown, and Les Brown was talking about this idea that you have to be hungry for what it is that you want. And hungry in his capacity was focused. Hungry was so. He said that you had to be like when you give a dog gets a bone and you try to take it out of his mouth. That no matter what, you're like moving him. The dog will be flying around and everything because he's like, I'm not giving up on this opportunity for this bone, right? And so Les Brown was saying this fact that so many people, we get to this place where we think we could do all these things, everything. He said, but what happens, you wind up not doing the thing that you should be doing because you're not focused. So when you're getting people to figure out this word focus and what it means in their life, what are one or two strategies that your passion has helped you engage them with? Like, how do you move them to even understand that being focused is important?
Okay, so I have this 5-step system to living your best life now, right? So the one thing is, and that's why I came out with these journals, right? It's because writing, you have to free your mind. So the first step, I always tell them, if you don't have a journal, take a piece of paper, and write. Just free. I mean, just do a mind dump. Just write it out. All the things that, if it's a person that you have some hatred or hurt from, write them a letter. You don't ever have to deliver it or mail it to them, but you got to get it out your system. You got to get it out of your mouth. That stinking thinking is just going to keep you back from doing what you got to do. So first, you clear your mind, write all that stuff down, dump it all out. Because I had a lot of issues, but as I started writing, I go back over some of my journals. I'm like, oh, girl, look what you've been delivered from. Girl, look what you did. So after you do your mind, you renew your mind, you write all this stuff out. Prayer. So a lot of people, I'm a Christian, so a lot of people are not that are in my sisterhood of purple. But the thing I tell them is, whomever you pray to, it's about whoever you go uh, to get your guidance. So I say pray first, pray, meditate. That's step one, right? Then step two is once you've prayed and you get your direction, it's about nutrition. You're gonna make better choices about your nutrition. And then you're gonna want to go exercise, right? And then community. That's about you want to go out and you want to help other people. And then education. You want to educate, get those resources and keep building yourself up with what you learned about prayer, nutrition, education, about the community. So that's my 5 step system. The first thing I tell them is write it down. Clear your mind. Just
Now
write it out.
you going too fast through all this stuff. But you say get the book. Y'all get the book. Get the now you
Yes.
are a actually you are an award winning entrepreneur, award winning writer because you actually did this
Amazon,
book
number
that you
one
did
bestseller.
a little bit strategically.
Yes.
Let's talk about this idea of okay, I have to get this stuff out of my mind. So you journaled and you came across some things that you said, I done got around some things. I done got through some things.
Yeah.
Hold up, what's going on? But your book actually connects to some of the things you had to do in order to make that happen. So take us through the journey of how you started this fitness, fit, but then how did it metamorphose or how did it shape out or spawn off a book and a journal?
Okay, so the one thing, like I said, was I wrote all these journals, and I'm going back through. I mean, from 1998 when I first started journaling, and I go back and I'm like, I have journals on a bookshelf, and I went back, so let me just pull some of these, and just reading them, I'm just like, you know what? It's so much information in here that others would benefit from it. So I've learned that this life, this journey that I'm on, is not about me. It's not about me at all. So that's what some of us mess up when we thinking it's all about us. It's all about me. But no, it's about somebody else because we go through life to help someone else. So as a friend of mine, very good friend of mine, this book collaboration that we did, Daily Doses of Declarations. The second edition. It's dropped. Go on Amazon. You can look under me, or you can look under Daily Dose of Declarations. It was 80 of us, 80 women authors. We each had a story to tell. We each wanted to, the reason we did this collaboration was we wanted to get out there, mental illness, physical illness, whatever it is, we wanted to get this message and get it in the hands of women, people all over the world, because we may not physically be able to do that even on our social media platforms. But with this book, we can get this out. And as they're reading from like different women, different perspective, things that we've gone through, it's going to touch somebody because somebody has gone through something that's in that book. 365 days of inspiration. So with that, that was everything I've gone through was that motivating me. First, I went out with this book, like, yeah, I'm gonna get this book. I'm gonna be a number one best-selling author. But as I was writing it, writing my part and submitted it, I'm like, no, it's not about that, Dionne. It's not about you at all. It's about those women, those people out there who are going through. They need to hear how God has delivered you.
So tell us again. You gave us some acronyms because that's what you said. You know, acronyms help people remember. Acronyms also give people a pathway to go. You know, your acronym for FIT was focus, intentional, truthful, transparent. But then you gave another one and you said, here's some things that they need to do. Now, I know we said prayer and meditation. What came after that? Education or was it
Okay,
in
so it's
food?
Coach D's 5 step system to living your best life now. It's proven, it works because you know why? I live by it every single day. First one is prayer, meditation, reading your word, devotional. So it's prayer. Then it's nutrition. Then it's education. You do those three go together. You can't do one without the other. Prayer, nutrition, and education. You cannot. They're intertwined. And then once you get those three solid in your life, you can go on with community. Community is going out within your immediate community, helping a senior, helping someone who's homeless, but you're going to go out there and you're going to serve others. And then there was education. You're going to continue to get those resources so that your prayer life gets stronger, your nutrition, you learn what to eat, what not to eat, you learn what exercises fits your body, you know how to go out into the community and serve those people with purpose, and then continue with that education. Always be a student. Just forever be a student. Forever be a student. So those were the 5.
Well, see, some people might, when we think about coaches, a lot of times people think that the job of the coach is supposed to tell you what to do, right? As opposed to guide you to find what's on the inside of you and come out with it. So you are an actual coach. So I want you to talk about the real way that you coach because you do it the right way. So talk to us about that. I see you jumping out your seat over there. Okay?
Okay. So, is there truly a real way to coach? Coaching can be where you are uh, building up, edifying, encouraging people to take charge of their health, their heart, their life. So, as me, as you, I wear different hats as a coach, but coach is a teacher. So, when I'm talking about fitness, so when we're in our fitness, whether it's one on one, whether it's group, how I tell them is you cannot out exercise a bad diet. So I don't tell you, how to eat, or I guess what to eat in a sense, because I can't make you do something, right? No one can make you do something. What I like to do is bring awareness of, if someone continues to do this, then this is the likely outcome, right? So when we get a certain age, I'm talking about women 50, I'm really talking to you women. Men, I mean, I love you because I have a husband, I have a son, but women, I'm talking to you. So when I coach my women, I say to them, who are you living for? What are you here for? If you find out your why, your purpose, then you are going to do those things that will uh, sustain you. I mean, keeping you here. Because who? Let me just ask you this: who wants to live life and you can't do things for yourself? Who wants to live life when the things you used to do? Now, granted, you may not be able to do them the same way as you used to when you was younger, but who wants to live life not being able to live? Not me. Not me. So the way I coach my women, to be honest with you, is to bring awareness. I show them this. If you keep doing this, this is what's going to happen. But if you take all that away and you do this, then this is going to happen. Now it's a process. So that's how I coach my women. I bring awareness because I cannot tell them what to do. I can't tell them how to do it, but I put it on the table and they have to pick it up and do with it what they think is best for them.
Well, those are two real powerful words. Awareness gives you clarity, right? Because the whole idea of awareness is to bring you into understanding that existing. The reticular activating system gets going because it's like that person who's like, "Oh, I want this beautiful house. If nobody has it," and they're like going through all these neighborhoods, and they finally find a house. And they're like, "Oh, I got this beautiful house," and, and they buy the house, and then 2 weeks later they walk around the block, and all seven other houses look just like theirs, right? Because they didn't see it.
Right, I
so
agree.
so the reticular activating keeps all that mess out until you really need it. And what you're saying is that awareness comes in, and you say, "Listen, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not even going to tell you what to eat. I'm going to tell you, here's what the deal is. This right here is known to do X, Y, and Z. Continue to do that, and this is what you get.
Yes,
Here's another
exactly.
alternative." So you give people an alternative to the lifestyle that they're currently living, because I understand, and I've had a conversation with you before, and I know that you talk about lifestyle versus, diet, and
Yeah.
let me just do this one little thing for a couple of months, because what it doesn't do is cause sustainability, which is what you just talked about. So help people unpack this idea of awareness, because awareness, all right, now I know. Now what? Because some people get stuck because there's so much information now. It's like, where do I get good, solid, quality insights and information? So talk about that journey that people have to take.
So I once was a notary. My husband's still a notary. I said, you keep that situation, you keep doing that, and I'm gonna do what I gotta do. So in a notary class, we learn how do you let's say you eat an elephant. How do you eat an elephant? No, I mean, you're not gonna literally eat an elephant, but how do you eat an elephant? One part or piece at a time. You gotta break it down. So I always tell them baby steps. You take one step at a time. So I had this client. I'm going to talk about you. You haven't asked me this question yet, but I'm going to. I'm going to. You may have it on your list to ask, but I'm going to say it. So last year I was diagnosed with breast cancer. Right, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So one of my clients, she was like, you know what? 'Cause I'm coaching her to, prayer, educate, nutrition, and exercise. Right. So she's like, wait a minute. How is it that you, the healthiest person that I know, how are you being diagnosed with cancer? I'm going to stop. All of this is not worth me doing. I'm not going to, I'm not exercising. I'm just quitting. I'm not going to do it. I didn't hear from her for 2 whole weeks. But in the interim, I would send her messages and I'm like, let me just tell you something. Life happens to all of us. Some things we don't have control over because you can be the fittest person. You can be the person that don't put any junk in your body. Life happens sometimes. We don't know why. But what I told her is, and what I'm a living testimony is, don't stop what you're doing. You got to continue to search out, do your research. I give them like an app, like 21-day vegan jump start. I'm a plant-based eater. So she's like, well, I'm doing all this stuff. I'm like, well, how long did it take you to put this weight on or to do whatever it is? I mean, you put the weight on. How long did it take you? Oh, it was years. So it's going to take some time. So in the interim of me being diagnosed with breast cancer, I didn't miss a beat. I'm not going to stop. This is a lifestyle for me because some of us are going to get knocked down. But the bottom line is you gotta wipe it off and you gotta keep on walking. So how do they get these resources? What I tell them is do research for yourself. I can tell you everything. I can show you. I show them things that I'm eating, I'm drinking. But the thing is, if they're focused, intentional, truthful, and transparent, they're going to do this for themselves because you have to, once you do it for yourself, it means more, right? Because if someone else keeps doing it for you, they're giving you a handout, but they're not showing you how you're supposed to do it. You understand that? So I tell them, go and search for yourself and then come back and let's talk. Come back and let's do this. Let's talk about some things. So yeah.
Well, again, it's the whole idea that, like you said, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? You can't, expect it to just change overnight. I dealt with that myself. Earlier, right before the whole COVID thing, I had an actual situation where I went jogging and I could not breathe. I literally could not breathe. And I didn't know, I panicked because I couldn't catch a breath. And I remember swimming, and that was the only thing that got me into it because I remember going, and I was able to take these little tiny breaths. And I got done with it. And then I was like, oh, okay, I'm good. And I walked home and I came in the house and I went to work. I had a class to teach that morning. I
Wow.
taught my class and then I went to the hospital, right? But I remember talking to the lady. She said, Mr. Ross, where are you? I said, I'm in my car. She said, go to the emergency
Right now.
right
Right now.
now. Right now, right? So a lot of times we hear the good stuff to do. We see you drinking the cool water, 9.9 pH, right? We're like, listen, I got good water. I got the Kangen water, right, from Korea, and machine make my own water right now. So we we got all that going on, and it doesn't always equate to what we think, right? Because I remember Jim Fix. I'll never forget Jim Fix, and the name just sticks in my head because at the time in the 80s or late 70s, 80s, he was known as the fittest man on the earth. Actually, front cover of magazines, all kind of stuff. Had ran from like here to California and back. Something really, really major, right? And the man died. I mean, he was in the top shape, form, zero body fat, the whole nine, and he went for a run one morning and he didn't never get back home, right? So, adversity, you said it comes to everyone, but don't
Everyone.
stop.
Not.
And some people will look at someone else and determine their actions versus looking on the mirror. Michael Jackson said it clearly.
The man in
I'm
the
going to make a
mirror.
change for once in my life, right? And he said, where I'm going to start? I'm going to start with the man in the mirror. we don't
Yes.
always think about starting with the man in the mirror. We look at somebody else and say it's their fault, or if they wouldn't have did this, this, and this, and that, and all this kind of stuff, or that's good for them, but it's not good for me, or whatever. How do you help? Because you said you spend most of your energy is spent for women, and some
Yes.
women are in relationships with men and other women, but men or women who their significant other lives a lifestyle totally the opposite. So the challenge for some is right in their bedroom, right in their living room, right in the kitchen, right on their couch. How do you help them make those transitions?
That's a wonderful question because my household, I'm the only one that's a plant-based eater. I don't like to say vegan. I just say plant-based. So everyone else in my house is like, "Oh, we're eating meat. You can go and do plants if you want. We're gonna eat some meat." I'm like, "No worries." So what we do is we come together because they eat vegetables too. At some point, you're gonna have to eat vegetables. So well, I should say we have a collaboration, right? All of their sides, which is my main meal, we make it together. We go with, okay, if you're going to still eat the meat, which I have nothing against. So let me get this clear right now. I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to go right up close to you. I have nothing against anyone who eats meat. Okay. I used to eat meat, so I know how delicious it is. But I made a lifestyle change for myself that I am not going to eat meat any longer, any animal. So what we do is, for anybody else who's in the same situation, you can't make your household eat the way you eat. You just cannot. If you do, it's going to be strife. It's going to be just chaos. You don't want that. So what you have to do is just, okay, let's talk this thing out. So I'm going to go plant based. You're going to continue eating what you're eating. Get the healthier cuts of meat. We're going to make all the sides. Like I'm looking at food right now that we did for Thanksgiving. We have collard greens. We have corn on the cob, right? We have cabbage. Some of the things I did a vegan mac and cheese, right? A plant-based mac and cheese. So the thing is, just come together as a family. You guys love each other. Why not work together, right? Don't force one to stop eating meat, and don't force the other one to eat meat. You're coming together as a family. Just this is all I can say. Just come together. So that's the one thing I say. Just talk it out. Do what you have to do. Let them do what they have to do, but don't force anyone to, eat the style that you do. So just
Yeah, it's
don't.
like, hey, everybody, we're vegans tomorrow, right?
Yep.
And they're like,
Yep. You
huh?
cannot.
Not during
I
football
tried it.
season? Are you kidding me?
I
I need
tried
my
it.
barbecue wings. What's going? Where my chicken, girl? Where my chicken? Here, I've got you some beautiful
Oh no.
mac and
No, no,
cheese.
no. I made him, let me tell you something. I made him a barbecue cauliflower. And let me tell you something. It looked just like chicken. He loved it.
So Vince was like, baby, what's this right here?
But the thing is, he'll eat plant based, but he's still going to eat his meat and potatoes. And I don't stop him from that. That's what he wants to eat. And we live in harmony.
I love it. I love it because that is the word. You kept doing this. You did this a couple of times, and
Yes.
so many people do it this way,
Mm-mm.
right?
Mm-mm.
And then they use it, and they'll say, "Well, if you love me, right? They'll say
Oh,
you're supposed to be compromising." But I love the way you just presented it. That hey, this is a unification, right? We're
yes. So
blending.
important.
We're layering together. We're not. It's
Yes.
not one or the other. It's both. It's us coming together, figuring it out. And I think
Yes.
that's where so many different relationships crash. The change that people are trying to get to when it comes to working out and getting a better lifestyle because they'll just like throw it on the table or push people to it or whatever.
Ultimatum. There's an
Yeah, it's like you better,
ultimatum.
yeah, like you have to, and then it's funny because when you check those relationships out, sometimes you find out 8 months ago it was we only drinking juice, but now there's who got this soda? Oh,
Yep.
I was at a such and such and I got it. It's like, wait. Or my man's out in the back behind the garage trying to get his 7-Eleven on, right? He got his Sprite. All right, so harmony is so important. Someone said, one smile to a door. Harmony is so important. Yeah, beautiful
Important. Yes.
statement there. Jamila
Right.
says, adversity comes to everyone, but we can't stop, right? those are things that are really important to us as we move forward. So
Right.
you went through cancer, but you conquered it.
More than a
I
conqueror. Yeah.
love how you chose the word conquer over survivor.
Mhm.
Before the show, we talked real briefly on that, but can you share with the viewers this whole the concept, because you talk about mindset, and I teach in my class, words are picture containers. If you can't figure out the word, then you can't visualize it, because people don't
Agreed.
think in words, they think in pictures.
Mhm.
And so we got to give them the lexicon, the right words, so they can create the right images, because the images imprint on the mind, which now sends the vision through the body. So talk about how you go about that.
Yeah. So as I mentioned earlier, previously, last year, uh, uh, June last year, actually it was May, I went for my annual mammogram. Ladies, get your mammograms. Okay. So I went there and they called me back. We need you to come in, blah, 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 blah. Okay, sure, I'll come in here. We prayed up. My husband and I, we prayed up. Whatever it is, we're gonna make it through this thing. So I come back, I did all the biopsies. Doctor called me like a few days later. He said, "Are you sitting down?" I'm like, "Come on, doc. What you got to tell me?" So he said, "What we found was not one, but we found two forms of cancer in your right breast." And I said, "Okay, so what we're gonna do?" He sat there. He's like, "Are you okay? Are you all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." I'm like, "So what are the next steps?" So I guess when a lot of people hear of something happening to them, maybe they respond a different way. Maybe they cry, they holler, they scream. But let me tell you something. I'm not saying there's something wrong. There is nothing wrong with how you react to a situation. But let me tell you how I reacted to the situation. I've been through so much with my husband's health, other family members' health, that faith, my faith in God was way up here. It's tight. Even today, I kept building up on my faith because I'm just like, I mean, it shook me a little bit. I will not lie to you, because just to find that you got some poison in your body that for some people they don't make it, that can shake anybody. But my thing is, you remember those little weeble wobbles? I know I'm aging myself. Like the little toy, they weeble wobble, but they don't fall down. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you can weeble a little bit. But let me tell you something. I'm like, you know what? This is not going to stop me from being who I am. I've come too far to helping other people that it's just not going to stop me. So I went through all the process. The process is the hardest part, right? It's that process, that middle part. I always equate that to me being a middle child. I was my mother's I kept my mother on her toes being the middle child. So it's that process that strengthens you, that it just makes you who you are, right? It puts you into your purpose. So once I got through all of that, I didn't have to go through chemo, didn't have to go through radiation. It was caught so early that I didn't have to get those, but I did opt to get a double mastectomy because I'm like, not going through this again. Get it out. It didn't spread through the rest of my body. It was contained in that one area. But when my next book comes out, you guys will hear the total details, everything that the Holy Spirit showed me. You got to find all that out. But what I say is, when the doctors told me that, everything I went through from May to September, let me tell you something. I listened to what the doctors, told me. Stay home, rest. But I'm gonna tell you something. My faith kept growing and growing and growing in the word of God, that I was like, and I kept encouraging other people. Some people didn't know. I didn't tell some people, I told my inner circle, but people who didn't know, that wasn't going to stop me from encouraging, from building them up, from edifying them. It wasn't going to stop me, because I was like, this is a part of life. And as long as I live, something is going to try to form itself against me, but it can't prosper. So I continue helping other people. I continue helping other people because I'm like, it's life. You have to realize that this is life. Things happen, but it's how you perceive it. It's like you said, Dwayne, that picture, right? That the picture, how you picture it. I kept seeing me healthy. I kept seeing me wealthy and wise. I kept seeing me stronger. I kept seeing me better than I was when I went through the situation. And I'm saying, look at me today. I am more physically fit. I am more focused. I am more intentional. I'm more truthful and transparent. Nothing can stop me. It can try to slow me down, but it can't stop me. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what you did was, if you go back to what we said when you started the show, right? And we have to always keep this in perspective. Our lives are not for us. We
Yeah.
get to hang out in it. We get to do a lot of cool stuff.
Yes.
I do a lot of wild stuff within this here suit that they gave me. But sometimes I'll be like, can I get about two more? Can I get a little taller? Nah,
Oh my
this didn't
goodness.
happen, right? So I had to go with what I got, right? So I work everything that I got the best I can.
That's
But the
right.
thing is, we sometimes forget that this is not us.
Yes, we do.
We are here for a purpose,
Yes.
maybe more than one purpose. I was telling my middle son, I'm a middle child. My middle son has had some challenges. He's here with me now, um, Joseph, and I have these conversations about like what reality really looks like. Because
Ooh,
because
yes.
we challenge we challenge that, right? It's like, wait a
Yes.
minute, who said? Well, how come? And a thousand questions, right? But
Yes.
what you said is that people really need to get, and I hope they hold on to the fact that what we go through is not for us; it's for others. And I always remember a gentleman, Pastor Dwayne Freeman. He said, "You got to be for a leader to be a good leader. You have to be others minded." And that always
All right.
resonated with me, others minded. And so
Others
I always
minded.
looked at like, what do I do outside of myself? What do I do? It's selfish for me to think that all I got to do is take care of me, but I do things that help others. And then I also, even this show is not because I needed to do a cool show. I really wanted to give people a platform who go through my Write Your Story course so they could talk about their books and they could talk about the being an author and the journey of their passion. And then I started talking about passion, and the next thing I know, I was like, oh, passion and profits, that's kind of cool because you can profit from whatever it is that you do, right? And so
Right.
why should you not profit from that thing that God gives you the gifting to do, the talent to do, the ability to do
Yes.
better than some people? And you may not be the best, but you are that one that they needed for that moment, right? So you bring it in, you usher it in. So here's the thing. We have about 17 minutes, and I want to talk to you about your book because you are a bestseller author. So you get to wear that moniker. A lot of people strive for it. They don't need, and I know I'm not, and I know I haven't had everyone in my classes do it. I would say if I had to pick somebody, it's going to be Amanda Danello because of how she's doing so many different things with her story. I mean, newspapers and podcasts and all kind of cool stuff. She's on her fourth book, I think, right now, and she took my class last September. She's already done. She's on her fourth book. You know what I mean? So she took the information and she really put it to work. What happens with you because you had to put this stuff to work so that you can share. You got a business entrepreneur mindset. You started more than one business. You're a mom. You're a your wife. Your sister. I mean, you got the sisterhood going because you got the whole organization of talk about all those things and how you manifest your passion through these things that God's given you the ability to do.
So let me tell you, with the book, it's a collaboration. Melanie, I'm giving you a shout out. Melanie Bonita, God gave her the vision to put the book together, and we came together and we helped her with this. So the one thing that she taught us, how to get your book out there, your passion, because it was in all of us. All the women who are part of that collaboration, beautiful women from all walks of life. I've learned so much from all of them. But the main thing is that you have to be excited about your work. You have to be out there and you have to talk about it. I read this post one time and it said, promote yourself so much that either people get tired of you or they start buying your products. So that's what I say to you. And don't think, okay, so this is the thing I look at. So this is going to help somebody out there. So think about when you look at TV, you see those commercials. I'm not going to name, but you see commercials. You see them over and over and over and over and over again. You get emails from this person. You like delete the email and you get another email from that same person. They keep putting it out there. So sometimes I end up like, let me just read one. I read it and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really good. And I may end up buying a program or whatever it is that they're, promoting. But the thing is, you have to be just like that. So what I mean by being focused, look at what, find 3 or 4 people who are doing what you envision yourself doing or you're already doing and you want to get better at it. I say, look at them, see how they do it. Because it's time out for trying to reinvent the wheel. Stuff is already out there. So you follow them. Not that you're going to, be like them or do like they're doing. Just look at some of the things and just put your own mark on it and just go out there and do it scared. Do it nervous, do it afraid, but you got to do it. I always say, and I've heard from a lot of other people, done is better than perfection.
Ooh,
So
wait,
get
wait,
out
wait.
there.
Slow down. Slow
Done
down. Done.
is better than perfection because I'm a recovering perfectionist, right? You know what perfectionist really is? Lazy. Perfectionist really means lazy because you start a project, and then, oh, that's not right. Then you start another one. Oh, that was not right. And the next thing you look and you got like 5 unfinished projects because you want it to be perfect. So I'm just saying to you, done trumps perfection, right? Just do it. Like, look, I'm still in Nike. I'm not going to take it as mine, but just do it. So
Well,
just do it.
okay, cause see, um, I got a couple people. I got two that I can name right off the top of my head that they've been like saying how they're gonna write their book and they're gonna do this and they're gonna do this and they're gonna do this and
Been
then
there.
whatever happens. But done is better than
Perfect.
perfection, right? So the idea is you can't perfect if it's not done. They don't see that part sometimes. In order for you to fix it, you have to have it in front of you. You can't
Yeah.
like master it without it being there first. You got to manifest before you can master. And that's what I tell the
Got
people
it.
in my class as well. You got to manifest it and then you can master it. If you really want it to be perfect, you got to show that it's not perfect. Because I'm going to tell you, right now, I could pick up this newspaper right here. I got a newspaper right here. And I know that I'm going to look through this paper. And as happy as I was on that day, right there, I could go through this paper and I know that I'm going to find some errors.
Yep.
I'm going to find some things. That's why people that in our business we buy what's called errors and omissions insurance because
That's right.
sometimes you might say something you might not say it the right way or whatever. You might quote somebody and quote the scripture wrong or whatever. But here's the thing: be present and focused. You talked about that because you need to be in it. It's like that thing. You got to be in it to win it. You can't just kind of be on the outside looking in it. And then you said this, which I really like. Jack Canfield told me this. Canfield, I was doing a program called the Goals Program, and it said, "Feel the fear, but do it anyway." You said, "Do it scared,
Do it scared.
but do it anyway." Go at it. It's kind of like that guy who wants to ask the girl at the dance to dance. I was that dude, right? I'm sitting there and I'm like, ooh, I want to go. She gonna say no, and then I was like, and I heard Craig Williams. I'll never forget Craig Williams said, "The way you ain't never gonna get." Craig, if you heard me, I remember that, bro. So I walked over there and I was like, "Yo," da, 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 da. And she did say no. But then her friend said yes. And I
Yes.
was like, cool, I just want to dance because I like dancing. Come on, let's dance. And it still worked out. Wasn't exactly what I
Yes.
wanted, but I did something, right?
Worked out.
So
Yeah.
go for it. Go out there. Do that thing that you've been given. See, you've been given everything that you need.
Yes.
And what happens, you second guess that you're ready. You
Been there.
second guess that you have what it takes. And then you have that thing, I'm sure you heard this, Dion, imposter syndrome.
Yep. Been there,
Talk
done that.
about not believing that you're good enough and how you had to push past that to your purpose and now what you've manifested in your business.
So I was always, okay, let me just say this. Social media can be a positive and it can be a negative. If you're looking at what everybody else is doing, and just because somebody else out there is doing what you know you've been called to do, you stand back. And I'm speaking from experience, y'all, because sometimes it still comes there. And I'm just like, whoa, 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 whoa. Just because they're doing it, there's only one me. So they cannot possibly do it the way that I do it. So what I'm saying to you is, although you're finding these four people, or at least four people, maybe three people who are doing what it is that you're doing, don't get intimidated. Don't be where, okay, they're doing it, there's nobody else out there for me. I'm not going to be as successful as they are. Stop it right now, today. Stop it. Don't even think that way. When that thought comes up, throw it to the back of your mind. Actually, throw it to the ground and step on it. You got to just um what do I say? Just this, throw it and step on it. Don't even go there. So how I do it is, I go through it scared. I'm nervous about it. I put out my first Black Friday. I've never done a Black Friday before. And I'm like, I'm looking at everybody else's. They look so good, all professional. I'm going to put it out there because I know what I bring to the table is going to get those people their results. So I just say, just go do it. Put it out there. Look at what other people are doing, but don't look at it, like I said, what other people are doing to measure up. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Don't do it where you're measuring up to what they're doing. Okay, that's a good idea. It's like, eat the meat, but throw out the bones. You know what I'm saying? So just, I'm gonna go do this thing. That's how they're doing it. That's how they're doing it. Oh, that's good. I like that. I like that. But then, like I said, make it your own. Don't try to copy somebody. Don't try to be like somebody else. Like I said, when God made the mold of you, he crushed it up, because there's one of her, there's one of him, there's one Dionne, there's one Dwayne. Nobody else is going to be the same. So that's what I'm just saying. Just be you. I can't say that any other way, but just be you.
Woo. I need that on the t-shirt.
Guys, just be you. Don't try to be anybody else.
No, but here's the thing, because that's so critical, because Seth Godin talked about this in his book, Stop Stealing Their Dreams. And he's talking about educators and the education system, and how we teach kids and how we teach people, even adults in college, not to dream, not to move forward. And, oh, you don't want to do that because there's no pay in that, and, stuff like this. And when you said just be the best you that you know,
That's it.
when you could be the best you that you are, and then you're walking in your greatness, right? And as Jamila said, yes, be your authentic self at all times.
All
You
time.
know, authentic is for you. See, until somebody tests it, they don't know how authentic it really is,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
But they don't know where your manufacturer. They can't look. So where's your tag? They're like, wait, let me see. And I love how you said, get started on that dream, get started on that business, but be courageous.
Yes.
You're a conqueror. You said you conquered. You looked at it and you were like, okay, so what's next? You
Yep.
didn't allow yourself to get caught up in the message that came through, right? The front line. Oh, okay. Some people get stuck right there. They see the headlines and that's it. It's like, oh, it's over. The world is ending. It's all over. The COVID, the vid got us. We got.
Because Dwayne, I'm going to leave here empty. Every purpose tag, I love your line. Every tag that's in me, I'm going to just give it out. I'm going to give it away. I am just not leaving this earth. And I go up to heaven and then look in this room and see all these gifts in there and say, oh, what's all those? Everything that you didn't give away. Those are the gifts that was in you that you needed to give to other people. Not me. I'm going to leave here empty, empty, empty. So do it scared, shaking in your boots, sweating, nervous, biting your nails. Just do it.
Yeah, you said, hey, I'm not
Yeah.
giving Nike any credit, but I'm going to say what they said, and that's it, right? We got to
Yes,
just do
ma'am.
it. So tell
Yes,
us
ma'am.
again, real quick. We got about a minute and a half. Tell
Yep,
us
yep.
where to find you. What's your website again, so we can make sure that people go to the right place. You guys that are listening to this right now on Facebook, please just go ahead and like her, connect with her right now. You need to buy this book. You need to get this book. It's not that expensive. It's right there for you. She will make sure that you get it. You might even get a signed or autographed or something like that. With
Yes,
COVID going on,
yes.
I'm sure she can figure that something out. But I want you guys, everybody that's listening that's here right now, I want you to think about your entrepreneurial mindset, your entrepreneurial heart. People are doing business to help other people do what they need to do. You could plant a seed and help her with her two books, help her get that devotional, make a move, make that happen. Put your money where your mouth is. You hear that all the time.
Yes.
How are we gonna get in touch with you? What should we do?
Okay, so social media platforms, you can look up Dionne Shaw Bush, or my top business, Dionne, Dionne, Look me up. I'm on all social media platforms. Website, Get Fit. Remember, Fit is FITT. Get Fit with Coach Dion, DIONNE.com. Again, you can see me on social media. If you want those books, you can still reach out to me. You can find me on Amazon under Dionne Shaw Bush, and you'll see all of my journals. You'll see both books that I did collaborations with. Reach out to me, DM me if you have any questions, comments, concerns, and I'm here for you. I'm here for you. I'm
All
definitely
right,
here.
all right. So we're gonna go ahead and say namaste. No, we're gonna say thank you so much for sharing your information, taking the time out of your life, because life is time and time is life. Because we don't know how much we have. We can know a lot of other stuff, but we just don't know when the golden thread ends, right? But you've taken some of your life to give to others, and I really, really appreciate that you've taken the time to come back and connect with me. It's been a few years since we've actually connected, but your heart is the same yesterday, today. Your spirit is the same, and so I love that about you, that you're so consistent, that it could be all that time in between and you're still there. So looking forward to hearing the next thing. You got this other book you're working on that's going to tell the story behind the story.
Yes.
I always say write your story, because your story can save lives. Your story can empower
I
people.
love
Your
it.
story can change the world.
Yes.
It was Gandhi and it was King. They said to all of us that, be the change you want to see. All
Yes, I
right.
love it.
So thank you, Coach D. Tell my
Thank
man
you.
Vincent, was it the Cowboys and the
And the
Redskins game?
Washington football team,
Yeah, did
yes.
he just have like a holiday at the house?
Oh my, yes, he did. Yes, he did. You just thought it was a group of people in here.
I was, yeah, I'm sure he did. But different people are saying, the name says, this is awesome. Thank you for sharing.
You're
Again, Dwayne,
welcome.
another great show. Thank you, Coach Dionne
You're
Shaw for
welcome.
Bush. Very cool. Jamila's right there. I'm leaving here empty. That's it.
That's it.
She's saying the same thing. When we look at how life is, life is fragile,
Very
and we can't think that we have forever to get it together, right? To make a difference. And so I want to say thank you again. We're looking
thank
forward to you
you.
coming back and sharing some more
Yes,
as things grow and as things progress with your books and
yes.
all that. And thank you so much. All right.
I
And
appreciate you're welcome and
you're
thank
gonna
you.
they're gonna have you go to the green room while I go ahead and get going. Oprah and them is back there. They got some cocoa or something. I don't know what they see you on the Oprah, or what's that
Yes.
table talk? You gonna have the purple table talk with your purple ladies, right?
Wait a minute. Oh, hey, you may see that.
Ah, there we go. Why not, right? I mean, what's stopping you? Nothing. You got the purple
Nothing.
ladies. All
Yes.
right. So two smiles into a door says congratulations on your success. So again, all
Thank
cool
you.
stuff. Um, have a great night, and we'll see you next time. All right.
Thank you.
Okay,
See you
we'll
later.
see you. All right, you guys. So listen, this was a great show. As I said from the beginning, from the top of the hour, that when I look for people to come on here, it is not because I just want to fill the air. I really want you to get some information that's going to help you move your life to a different level. Some of you are struggling with your weight. Some of you are struggling with your mind. Some of you are struggling with relationships. Some of you are struggling with yourself. Well, you might need a coach. All right. See, a coach can give you perspective that you can't always get from yourself, and you definitely can't get it from always from your friends and family. They will tell you some stuff that you have you on the wrong side of the fence. Take your time, reach out to Coach D. Coach D has a heart for you. She knows that she's been through adversity, so she knows what that is, and she's made it to the other side. She knows how to conquer adversity. So everybody don't know how to do that. Jamila, thank you for so much for saying thank you for a wonderful show. Great strategy, Coach Dionne. Thank you, Dwayne. No problem. Hey, you guys know what I say right here, right? I'll see you on the next page, the next post, the next YouTube video, the next live. Next week, I have another dynamic show coming your way. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but I've been talking to somebody who has some really cool stuff is going to share with you. I wanted to try something different today. So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna give this a shot. I don't like the word try, so I'm just gonna do it and let's see if it works out. But let's check this out. As I say, peace and hair grease. Holla at you.